An old friend has some new tricks in the Pokemon trading card game. Today, we're going to be talking about Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX. My name is Rahul. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below about your favorite ice cream flavor. We're going to be talking about Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX, one of the cards that came out in the Chilling Reign expansion about a year ago. I guess like 9 months probably at this point. And it was one of the cards that was pretty hyped. It was doing really well in the format. But then with the introduction of Mew VMAX and all these other decks, Ice Rider started falling down the wayside. With its first attack, Ride of the High King, 10 plus 30 for each of your opponent's bench damage, 10 plus 30, sorry. It's not a crazy attack, but Max Lance with 2 water energies, 10 plus 120 for each water you discard, up to 2, so you're maxing at 250. This was a really good attack. But the problem came in is we're not hitting enough numbers anymore. The damage doesn't add up, the numbers don't add up. But with the introduction of Choice Belt into the format, we're able to get that extra 30 damage, putting us at that 280 mark. With 2 additional pings from Inteleon, we're able to get to that 320 mark, take out any VMAXs. And with 280, we can take out every V-Star in the game. So let's go through the deck and show you guys what this guy has paired with him now. We've got a 2-2 Ice Rider because he's not the focus anymore. Ice Rider is not the focus of the deck anymore. They're just a horse, a guy on a horse. And they're doing a lot of damage. But we have our 4-4 1-2 Inteleon line to have our grip of cards that'll help us set up the board, get what we need, exactly what turns we need, using shady dealings, etc. 1 copy of Crobat V, because early game we could get stuck with a pretty bad hand, and we want to make sure that doesn't happen, so we need to be able to use Dark Acid to draw some cards. Then we have a 3-2 line of this Arceus VSTAR. Now, all we really need to do is attack 1 time with Arceus VSTAR using Trinity Nova, and we can put 3 water energies onto our Ice Rider, and from that point on, that's a Max Lance guaranteed without having to use the supporter card Melony for the turn. And Arceus is going to basically give us a lot of tempo on board, maybe take the first 2 prizes, and it's only a 2 prizer with 280 HP. Pretty nuts. Starbirth is an amazing V-Star power as well, and, well, it'll just get us our combo pieces we need. We have 1 copy of Air Balloon to pivot our pieces around, 2 copies of Choice Belt to get that extra additional damage. A 3rd is also probably in consideration, but as of now I can't find space, so we're sticking with 2. We have 1 copy of Capacious Bucket, an energy card that'll act as a water energy to get us 2 water energies. So early game, the Capacious Bucket can act as 2 water energies that we can put them in the discard and kind of play off the back of that. 3 copies of Evo Incense, 3 copies of Level Ball, 4 copies of Quick Ball, and 2 copies of Ultra Ball for just consistency and support cards. Normally, an Inteleon engine like this doesn't really actually want to play Ultra Ball because you don't want to discard resources. They're so important. But we need to get water energies into this card so we can use Melony effectively. So I figured 2 Ultra Ball couldn't hurt too much. We have 2 paths to the peak because we just need to stop a couple of turns here and there, like some decks like Mew on a very crucial turn where we can path and take a big knockout, take a big swing turn. But path isn't as instrumental anymore because we need to be able to use our own Arceus as well. So we can't just blindly slam the path and hope for the best. We have 1 copy of Scoop Up Net, another pivoting card, and to be able to reuse our Inteleon lines. 2 copies of Boss's Orders. I don't think we need more than 2, but they're really crucial in what they do. 1 copy of Leon to get to 310 damage. For some random reason, if we need to get there, just pop a Mew or pop something on like turn 2, turn 3. Just take that huge swing turn that our opponent wasn't expecting for us to get to. Because they're probably thinking we can max at 280. We just drop a Leon, drop a Choice Belt, and all of a sudden we are doing 310 damage, popping pretty much every VMAX in the game. 2 copies of Marnie because there are a lot of resources we don't want to discard. 3 copies of Melony because we do want to accelerate the water energy to our V Pokemon and draw 3 cards. It's very just good in this deck. 1 copy of Research because I do think Research is still very crucial in these kinds of decks, even if we only need 1, just because we don't want to discard too many resources. You can flop the Marnie and the research count if you want to. I wouldn't recommend it just because I think we want to keep our resources in the deck. And then 1 copy of Raihan, which acts as our 4th Melony, but also this can just get us another any card, which is pretty strong. And now with Melony and Raihan in tandem, we can always set up an Arceus V-Star in 1 turn if we need to, with 3 double turbo energies that'll act as our, basically just go on Arceus, and 7 water energies that go onto Ice Rider. Now, important to note, Ice Rider does say energy cards, not energy, so double turbo does not actually include, you can't discard 1 double turbo and make it count for 250. It's only going to be energy card, so it'll count as an energy card. So with that being said, let's jump into a game. Let's show you how it's been doing. I've been winning a lot of games with it, actually. I'm actually pleasantly surprised at how powerful it's been. The biggest draw towards a deck like this is Duraludon has been doing very well recently, and you can put a lot of pressure on decks like Duraludon, other Arceus decks, because you are probably one of the higher tier Arceus decks in terms of energy acceleration, damage output, and Ice Rider being able to one-shot other Arceus without having that fighting typing is very crucial in the long term. But besides that, you still probably have a pretty negative Mew matchup, because I think Mew is Mew is a very hard matchup, and you have to kind of hope that your path sticks for a turn. You have to hope that they don't knock out something on turn 2 that's crucial to you. It's been close. I've been winning some of the Mew games, but I feel like my opponents have been whiffing more so than not. Like, they've been playing a little bit worse. So I need to get some accurate testing in. And we do win the flip, I think. No, they won the flip. Oh, man, I thought I called heads. Why don't I get to call heads? I'm always calling heads. So our opponent will go first. If we open Sobble, we can always keep calling here. I do think keep calling feels good here. We're not going to bench anything else because our opponent's using fighting type energy sleeve, so I don't really want to know what they have. Okay, so it's Urshifu, which this matchup isn't the best, to be completely honest. We have to, like, our Arceus gets popped pretty easily, which is really unfortunate. But we can use Ice Rider to do a ton of damage to Urshi. So we're still going to set up the Arceus. And we're going to go Calyrex. We're going to attach Active to get the Keep Calling going. And we're going to go ahead and research. I'm not going to put a second Arceus down because that's just going to become a free prize. And we're hoping the other V-Star is not in the prize cards. Now this Keep Calling is going to be pretty sick because we're able to get a bunch of Sobbles out and running here. Okay, we prized 1, it looks like. So let's check with the other V-Star in the deck. It doesn't change anything prize card-wise, which is great. We've got 3 Drizzles, 2 Paths, and there's 1 Quick Shooting. That's really all we care about. With 1 Quick Shooting left in deck, that means we can get the pings. Our numbers are going to get a little bit better, and we have a Melony for the follow-up in our hand right now. Realistically, we're hoping that we don't, like, if our opponent Rapid Flows, they're not going to hit our Ice Rider on the bench, because if they hit our Ice Rider, then it's going to get a little bit sloppy moving forward, trying to use Ice Rider again, because we can't really make that into a VMAX at that point, which is a little bit concerning. So we're kind of hoping that they just don't do that and just take out 2 Sobbles or something. I don't know. That's probably ideal for us. A Marnie, which is a good indicator that their hand might be doo-doo. Let's draw some cards. Okay, this hand is good. This hand is really, really good. We're going to probably go into using the Arceus here, even though it's probably giving up 2 free prizes. I'd like to accelerate the energies off onto the board out of our deck, and I don't think we mind giving up 2 prizes for a free smack into something like this. Because he's going to have to evolve this at some point. If he doesn't knock out our Sobble, that's even better, to be honest. Because we can just go Drizzle the active, grab ourselves an Evo Incense to get the... Actually, we can hold that. We can go Drizzle, grab the Melony, retreat... Melony, he's going to pivot this into probably the other Urshi. There's no way you leave this in the active. That's probably the most incorrect play you could make here. You will almost always pivot this into something else here. There it is. Yep, it's just the other Urshi. 4 cards in hand. Nothing pressing so far. We're going to put this down because we can accelerate energies onto 2. So here's the play. We're going to do this, right? Shady Dealings. We're going to go ahead and grab Melony. And actually, even though I have the double turbo, I really want to attack with this Calyrex, I think, this turn. If possible. So we already have an energy in the discard, so I don't have to, like, retreat just yet. So let's go ahead and just Melony. I want to take the free 2 prizes. I'm not going to, like, give up this excellent opportunity for 2 free prizes, I think. Let's do this. Perfect. Level Ball. We're going to be able to grab ourselves the Capacious Bucket here. I believe it's in the deck, which acts as the 2 energies as well. And then I'm going to hold the Evo Incense for next turn to get the Arceus VSTAR up and running and be able to use that ability. Or I can use just Shady Dealings Inteleon, which I don't think I discarded. I might have discarded earlier. I just want to make sure I didn't misspeak there. Yeah, it's in the deck. And we have this. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to be able to just Max Lance, discard the 2, take the free knockout here. Already you're seeing the power of Ice Rider Calyrex when you go first. You can just do this. If this was anything other than a fighting type deck, and if it had less than 210 HP, or 220 HP, I would just go in with the Arceus. We had the Choice Belt in hand. Most V Pokemon have 210, as you can see right here with the Ice Rider Calyrex. And realistically, maybe I could have just hit into it with the Arceus for 210 and set up for a ping on the following turn. But that's a little bit greedy, I feel like, in the grand scheme of things. I think this is probably the safest play to make. Because our opponent could always just Rapid Flow both Drizzles, and then we're kind of stuck. without having an Inteleon for a couple turns. And if they just evolve the Urshifu, then I'm just out of range there as well. So we're going to see the 100 Furious Blows probably coming in. Maybe just Rapid Flow here. I think the smartest Rapid Flow would be to hit both the Ice Riders here, because that's probably my most ideal attacker in this matchup. So you want to kind of neuter that and take that away from me, potentially. But if that doesn't happen, I'm kind of cooking because I've got the Choice Belt. I've got an Evo Incense to find Melony, probably. I think this is the turn where I'm going to go ahead and use Starbirth, if possible. Because with this Rapid Flow, I'm guaranteeing our opponent always hits... I mean, even hitting active doesn't do a lot of damage. Okay, they've got a pretty good... There's 2-card hands got to be pretty good, I think. Quick Shooting back here, probably. Maybe active. Where would I put it if I was this guy? Active's fine. So that's indicating the active's probably gonna get hit here for 120. No dark energies in our opponent's discard. So 120 here, and then probably 120 here. You never hit the Arceus because that's just a free 2 prizes no matter when you slice it with the boss's orders. So that's just kind of a free 2 prizes. You don't touch that. It's just a matter of, do you care about me getting Sobble value here into Drizzle? Do you care about me getting a Shady Dealings value? Or do you care about me getting an Inteleon ping onto the board? So it looks like it's the non-damaged Drizzle, which is interesting. Not too concerning, honestly. We let him have a prize. It's not a big deal. Can't really prevent that. There's a Level Ball. Pretty good top deck. We have another Drizzle on deck too, so I'm going to go ahead and put this Sobble down as well. We don't Evo Incense or anything first. Evo Incense, Ultra Ball, we don't do any of that first because we're going to Melony every single time here. Maybe Raihan's just better here, actually. No, I want a Melony. I want to keep Raihan for... No, I'm going to Raihan because there's a chance that we don't get knocked out in the future. So I think just Raihaning here and setting up for the future is way better here. Let's Raihan. And we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves the Ping Master. There should be 1 in here. Perfect. Boom, boom. Get this in here. Get that there. We only have 1 quick shooting, but our opponent doesn't know that. Active. Let's check. We're doing 100 this way, or we're doing 40 plus 120 is 160. So I can discard 1 and be okay, I think. So we're going to put this Sobble down again, because I want to have access to the... My hand's not great, right? And I don't want to put this Crobat down, so we want access to... Drizzle next turn. So we're going to go ahead and just do 1 energy. We don't want to discard 2 because discarding 2 doesn't really do... we don't have a second Inteleon, right? So if we discard both and we put him at 300, yes, we are putting him at like a 2 ping range, but I feel like we're more likely to just be able to just boss and knock this out here, or like we can bring up something that he benches next turn. So maybe discarding both was correct, but I want to prepare for a boss play next turn if I can get that up and running. If I can get a boss play down on either this Moltres or another Urshifu he puts down, this Urshifu becomes a free target to just cook later down the line. I can't see my hand. We'll give him Drizzle. We're to give him Drizzle. I don't think I have the net anymore. Maybe I have the balloon. I don't remember what's in the deck, actually, which is a little bit concerning. I'm not going to lie to you guys. The hand disappearing there is a little bit unfortunate also. I don't like that functionality. And I don't mind if our opponent takes this 1 prize right here with Urshi, if we got a switching card in hand. They're going to keep quick shooting my VMAX, like for sure. And they have the pass. Perfect. Now, let's go ahead and incense... So this is a situation where playing Collapse Tower is a really good card. Because if you do go ahead and play Collapse Tower, you could bump something that's damaged like we have on our board right now. So we're probably going to look to... Okay, we're going to go ahead and incense for this Arceus VSTAR. We're going to go for the throat this turn. We're going to go ahead and do this. We're going to go ahead and use Arceus' Starbirth ability. And this is, watch the combo play out a little bit here. We're going to go ahead and grab ourselves the Shady Dealings Inteleon. And we're going to grab ourselves the Water Energy. So nothing actually super complicated, right? We're grabbing just 2 very basic cards. But this will then combo us into 2 more cards. So that's where you see the power of the deck actually come into play. Basically, I'm like saying I get to get any cards I want into my deck. Inspect board. Yeah, it's not in my hand. Go back. Let's go get ourselves a boss's order as well. I guess I could do the Drizzle with the boss. And maybe just grab Path. I feel like that's greedy. I'm going to chill on that. If I could get a Path out this turn 2, it would be super, super ideal. But I'm not, like, completely pressed to do so. So we'll do it this way. We'll get a free ping off on the active. We're already hitting, I believe, for enough damage to boss and knockout. So then we bring it up. We bring up their only 3 prizer in play. We get to take the first VMAX knockout with 1 max lens here. The math doesn't change in any significant scenario. Boom, boom. And that is the game. And that's how strong this deck can actually be. Please ignore the water energy just floating on my board. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like, subscribe. I will be streaming more pretty much every day. Every time I stream a deck with you guys' recommendation or whatever, I will try to feature it in a video, and we'll try to get that going. Daily videos every day. If you want to see more gameplay, obviously come to my Twitch channel. YouTube's just going to be like 1 or 2 matches, and then we're going to just profile the deck, and we're going to be doing a lot of tournament breakdowns, analysis, all that kind of stuff here. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys for a different video.